Hi guys, in this video, well, actually, let me start a story. I got into a conversation with Roy Meredith in the comments section of the previous video, and he was having issues with spawning the objects, or at least moving the objects. They were getting stuck, and things weren't working, and all that kind of stuff. And we kind of went back and forth. And really, what the problem is that the code that I wrote is it's garbage. So when I was doing the Ludum Dare competition over the last weekend, I hit on an idea about scripting, and I thought, well, maybe I could use the same technique for Frogger. So that's what this video is all about. So Roy, I appreciate your comment. I appreciate everyone's comments, and if you like videos, then like and all that kind of stuff. But I love the dialogue that goes on. So thank you so much. It kind of spurred me into fixing the problem, or else we would have just ended up having to do the same thing. It's going to make the river objects a lot easier to do, so I'm super happy with the way that this has actually turned out, and I hope you enjoy this video. But let's get starting. Let's get starting. Let's get started after the fade. So this is the problem that I'm getting is watch the little racing car here. He goes there and he appears there and then he's done. Now I think what the problem is I'm overcomplicating things. And so what I want to do is I want to experiment by having a pool of these objects and then emitting them when they need to be chucked out. And this is based on the work that I did for Ludum Dare 45. I did another video and I'll link that somewhere. It'll be in one of the cards or in the show notes below. But it'll also eliminate a whole bunch of crap over here, all these rows and everything. So if this works for the racing car, I'm going to do exactly the same thing for the other ones, and I probably won't record all of that. We'll just do the first one, and then I'll just finish the rest of these. I'll even probably put in the river ones. So if you want the full source code for this, don't forget there's a link in the show notes down below, and that'll take you to the full source code. Okay, so where are we? Row 1, row 2, row 5. Row 5 is this racing car here. And if I turn off, was it row 4? Oh, it's row 4. Okay, row 4 is the racing car. So this is the emission point here. But the thing is that I have this like row 4 alt, row 4 this, that, and the next thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here, make a duplicate of it, and then put him here, and then call this race car spawn. And then I'm going to move it to just this point here. So it's going to move to there, which is going to be minus 120, which is there, which is that point there just before that, and that is going to be the spawn point. And then the spawn point, oh, of course, this has got all the stuff in it that we don't need. So we don't need the sprite renderer, so we can remove that. Actually, we don't need the box glider, remove component. I don't mind the sprite renderer there, because then at least if we take away this black border, we can actually see where those values are. So that's not too bad. So race car spawn. Oh yeah, that's actually a prefab. Let's not do that with a prefab. Whoopsies. Okay, change of plan. Let's get one of those sprites and just drag and drop it into there. So where are we? Art, and then blocks, and then we've got our race car. It's got to be in here somewhere. Where's the race car? There he is. There. Okay. So I'm going to go and drag that there, and so he's got to be the same height as this one here. which is 0. That's not right. 104 minus 40. Okay, so this has got to be minus 40, and then that's minus 120, which is that one there. And then this is going to be race car spawn point. So race car spawn point is going to emit objects, and it's got an object pool which they give like 3 objects to it, but the code for that is going to be a little bit simpler. So we're going to have vehicle spawn point, vehicle spawn point, and so that vehicle spawn point is going to have a list of objects. So vehicle spawn point mono behavior. So we need to have a public game object pool. Call that pool because it's an object pool. Let me just move this over to here, like so, and we'll unpin that one there. There we go. It's a little bit better. It's so I can center it and I'm not kind of looking over there all the time, or at least I'm not looking completely over there all the time. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to have enumerator start while is running public bool running equals true, yield return null, and then we want to go through the list of things that we want to enumerate through. So I'm going to have these are the public ones here, so I'm going to have private list, and then this is going to be action, or this is going to be what do we call this? I guess it is it's some kind of action. So some action, or actually maybe we want it to be a function. We wanted to do some kind of action. And then when that action's finished, we are then going to move on to the next action and then just keep looping. So action actions equals new list action. So we haven't created that interface yet, but we will. And we want to have actually we can do var index equals 0, and then we can say var current action, or you can just do action equals actions index yield return action dot execute. We don't need that anymore. And then we do index plus plus index blap blap equals actions dot length. Oop, count. Nope, count. Please write count. Okay. What does all this do? Okay. So this is going to as soon as the vehicle spawn point starts, we are going to, this has to be a base vehicle spawn point, and then we need to have one for each vehicle type, which is fine. So if it's running, then we want to emit the next action. So we want to perform the next action. So we grab the next action, we execute it, we increment the index value, and then we make sure that the index value stays within the bounds 0 to actions -1. Okay, and then let's make that a abstract class. And then we need to add this iAction interface. So we'll do that here. Add iAction. Okay. And that is an interface. And this is going to have an iEnumerator execute. So this is going to perform some kind of execution. I don't know what it is yet. And now we need to create a bunch of actions for this. Now the actions we're going to do is create an object from the pool. We also need to know the current index as well. So what do we need to do? So the actions, let's create an add actions. So what actions do we need? Let's do a wait action. So we'll do wait action. iAction. Let's get rid of that. Public. And we'll implement that. Public wait action float duration. Duration equals duration. Generate a field for that. Yield return. Oops. Yield return new wait for seconds duration. Unity engine, and then we can get rid of all of these. Okay, so that's our wait action, and then the next one is going to be the emit action. So the emit action, we need to know how many things there are in the pool and what the index is. So we're going to have public int. Actually, this is going to be protected int pool index equals 0. And then that's going to be add class spawn object, add, oh, in fact that's going to be action, isn't it? Spawn vehicle action. Let's call it spawn vehicle action instead of spawn object. Just need to rename that there. That one there. And public iAction. Rid of that. Rid of that. Add that. And then the execute for this one, well, it needs public spawn vehicle action, and then it's going to be vector3 position, and then speed, and what else? Oh yeah, we need the pool. Actually, let's pass in well, we need Unity engine, but let's pass in our vehicle spawn point. Spawn. Okay. Private vehicle spawn point spawn. Private float speed. So that's going to be spawn equals spawn. Speed equals, oops, speed equals speed. And then for execute, we're going to do var pool object. So the object from the pool is going to be the spawn point what do I call them? Pool spawn pool index. What did I call that? Oh, protected pool index. Okay, so I need to make that public. Let's do hide in inspector, because we don't want to be able to change that inside the inspector. So it's public in code, but not public in the editor. Spawn pool index. Pool object dot get component. Oh, that's going to be component equals that. We need some kind of vehicle component here, so let's call this vehicle. Doesn't matter. Component dot set data or initialize. Let's call it initialize. Init, and it's going to be spawn dot transform dot position, and then it's going to be speed. So that's going to initialize the object and then yield return null. So we don't have a vehicle script, so let's create a vehicle script. Add class vehicle, and this, and this public vehicle class is going to be mono behavior. Good for them with the British spelling. Okay, that cursor key thing is annoying me. And then we need this init function here, so public void init. So that's going to initialize the values. Okay, component vehicle, public class vehicle, component init. Oh, we need vector 3 position, float, speed. And this is going to be transform.position equals position, speed equals speed, and set GameObject.set active true. Okay. Now, what if we told it that what's wrong with this? Oh, okay. Private float speed is that. Okay, so what if we told it that if the object here, this race car spawn point thingy, if it was beyond this point here, which is 170. Is that right? No, well, that's 170 to there. But it is 224. So 224. Well, let's use this one guy here. Well, that's not going to work, is it? Right, this guy here. So minus 120. So if I make that 120, that's going to put it to there. Minus 120. Okay. So if the object hits that, but actually if the object hits this, which is this collider, well, that's the death collider, isn't it? Can't really use that. What if we did float x bounds or x max equals 130. So if it gets to 130, we mark it as being invalid. Okay, and then void update. So this is our update, and this is the one that moves us in whatever direction it is. So we're going to take that code from our row control. Where are we here? So going left, this is the one here. So we're going to go grab that there. And we're going to say it is speed times time.delta time. And this is going to be transform.position because we're only updating that there. If transform.position.x now if we're going that way, okay, let me do var abs x equals mathf.abs transform.position.x. If abs x is greater than, let's have, oops, I'm going to call it that for private floats x max equals x max set, this will be game object dot set active false, and that can go back into the reusable pile of objects, but we're just, all we're doing is we're just making sure that it just piles up on the other end, and then when we reuse it we're going to reset it anyway at this point. So I don't really care where they are, they don't need to reset the position, we just need to make it stop so that they're not moving. Okay, so that's that there. And then, where are we? This is the row control, don't need that anymore. So that makes this less complicated because now the only thing that we have in vehicle is an initialize function and a very, very simple update that has one if check in it. So that's good because we've got to keep these things small and neat. The smaller the class is, the easier it is to debug. And also to test as well if you're into unit testing. So the vehicle spawn point, that goes there. We need to grab that action, that's right. And then the spawn vehicle action adds it to there, adds the position, and that's that done there. So that is our vehicle spawn point. Let's have one in here called spawn points, and we're going to create a new class, and this is going to be called racer spawn point. Add, and this is going to extend from vehicle spawn point. Void awake. And then I want to add all the actions to this. So maybe I want to make this a little bit easier for myself. So I'm going to do protected list actions get return actions, just to make it a little bit neater for us. Why is it not liking that? Use auto property. Oh, okay. Boom. There we go. That one works for me. So then I want to say actions dot add, and then I want to spawn an object, and then wait 5 seconds, and then spawn another object, wait another 5 seconds, and that gets repeated. Now that gets repeated because I have this running thing in here. So I'm going to say add new vehicle, spawn vehicle action, and then it's going to be this, and then the speed. What is the speed? What is the speed of the row 4? Oh, where we got row 4 controllers? 96. 96. And then I want to do that. Well, actually, I want to do that every 5 seconds. I want to do 1, maybe 3 seconds. So then I want to do actions dot add new wait action, 3 seconds. So because the racer spawn point is going to repeat this, it's going to spawn a vehicle, wait 3 seconds, and then it's going to move on to the previous one, which is going to spawn the vehicle, wait 3 seconds, and so on. So I'm going to get rid of the row controller for row 4. That's gone. I'm going to get rid of row 4, and I'm going to get rid of row 4 alternate. So the only thing I have now is this one here, which is a race car spawn point. And inside here, I'm going to create, I'm going to add that script. So I'm going to have racer spawn point, and then the pool of objects. I think I can be clever and I can just drag and drop these things in here. So if I go to the prefab and I go to the white racer here, and white racer doesn't have anything on it, so I'm going to add a vehicle script to it. So again, the vehicle script doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything in here in the inspector. There's nothing there. It's just the script. But if I then drag and drop that into here, I can do pool. Maybe I can do this more than once. Let's see if this will work. Oh, it does. There you go. So I really only need like 4, probably 4 pools, because I need enough so that it goes. That when it gets to the other end there, I can then reuse that object, and I only want to use like the minimum amount of objects, so I know that there's only ever going to be 4 racing cars in this scene. It might be overkill. I might only need 2, but we'll see how fast this goes. Okay, so let's see if this works. Well, it did not. Am I getting any output from the console? No. Spacecar is running, so it's not that. So let me put a breakpoint there, attached to Unity, and let's see what we get. Okay. All right, well, it's there, running, okay. Actions, there are actions. Let's execute this one. So transform position, speed position is that, speed is that, IMAX is 130, game object set that, and do you know why? Because I think I need to instantiate it. I think that's the problem. So what I'm gonna do is change this up just a little bit. So I'm gonna say public game object prefab. And then inside here, I'm going to change that to 0. And the prefab for this is going to be the racing car. There we go. So there's the white racing car. And then I'm going to hide this in the inspector as well. hide an inspector because I don't want that to be seen. And then inside our action for vehicle spawn action, I actually want to have a maximum number of objects. So I just want to have vehicle spawn point, public pool, let's do pool max, and then we'll change that to 5. So that's the maximum number of objects, and then we start reusing the pool again. I think we still need to know the pool index though. Public int pool index equals 0. Hide an inspector. Okay, and then in the spawn vehicle, we want to say var if how do we want to do this? Maybe I want to do this inside here. So I want to say public get next vehicle. Okay. And then I want to say if actions.count, oops, that would be game object. And I need the game object. What am I needing here? Vehicle, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I need the next to game object. Okay. So if count is less than pool max, I want to say var copy equals var copy equals instantiate prefab, and then actions dot add. Actually, I could get away with just doing that. That there. Instantiate prefab. As game object. What? What do you not like? Oh, actions. Oh, pool. Pool.add. Oh, right, okay. That's why. Okay, let me do this. List was new pool. Okay, so we want to add that to that, and then we want to say return we want to know what the object is. Return, oh yeah, it's got to be var instance equals pool index pool index plus plus return instance. So we're going to return the instance back to the caller. Pool index is that. Actually, that would be pool index is less than max pool size. And then else pool index blap blap pool max. So that will bring it back to 0, and then we blah, 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 blah. Right, so that'll work. So if the current pool index is less than the maximum pool size, then we add one to the prefab. No, that's not quite right, is it? If it's less than the pool size is less than that, and actions dot count is less than max pool size, we want to add that, because we only want to add it if we still have empty slots in the pool. And then for this one here, what we're going to do is we're going to then just return back the current pool index, add one to the pool index, and then return the instance. So in this one, instead of doing pool object equals that, we're going to do spawn.get pool get next vehicle. And then that's going to get us whatever pool is in there. We don't need to worry about anything else inside our action. So, where are we now? Okay, so we do run. There you go. There's one. There's another one. Perfect. And we have these clones here. So we should get to 5 and then no more. So now we're reusing this one here, and you can see that these ones are getting set to be inactive. Oh, no, there's a bug there. We're adding more. Well, that's not good, but at least we have the racer. Okay, so why is that? I've screwed this up here. Okay. So I want to say if actions is less than that, do that. If pool index, actually we can just do pool index in there. Pool index equals pool max. Actually, we can get rid of that there. Put that there. And I think that's okay. So if actions count is less than pool max, we want to add that. We want to add the other object. Okay. I think this is good. So we should only get five objects pulled up, which means we could probably get away with having 2, maybe 3. Yeah, see, we could probably get away with just 1 with the speed that this is going. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next one should be the last one. Then we shouldn't create any more. No, still creating them. Well, let's find out why we're creating them. Actions count 2. That's because I'm an idiot. And for all of you shouting at the TV, forgive me. Okay, well. Right, let's do this one more time, and then we can rejig everything. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next one should be the last one. Finally, should be the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So we're only using, each one of these gets used. So that's what I mean, we could probably get away with just having 1. Where's the max pool size? Let's not have that as hidden. Let's have that as out in the open, and then we can change it to 2 maybe, I think, for this one. So we only need to have 2 objects for our vehicle. Now notice that all of these, they have a vehicle, they only have one type of vehicle. Yeah, there you go. There's 2 vehicles. So we don't need to worry about anything there. All right, that's good. So we should be able to still get killed by, boom. Oh, you smoked there. Okay. All right, that makes much more sense. It's much more predictable It also means though that we can actually stop everything just by clicking that, and then that'll kill kill the spawn. I don't think it'll restart it though because it it doesn't check it again. But you know, at least we can control these things. Okay, so the next step is to get rid of all of this stuff that I've done over the last couple of weeks and replace it with something that is a little bit more easy to digest. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to be exactly the same technique. I'm going to create an object either side of these, and then I'm going to create scripts, and I'll go over the scripts that I create. But I'm going to stop the video just now, and when you come back, all of these rows and things will be removed, and it will just have one spawn point, and we'll use the prefabs for these vehicles, and so it will make this a lot easier to understand, and we can get rid of all these row controllers here. So I'm going to do that right now. So I have this vehicle here, which is the yellow racer, and I'm going to place them here, and that's row 1. Actually, I don't want the yellow racer there. I want the block for the yellow racer. Where are we? Yellow racer. Okay. So the block for that is row 1, which is -188. So if I do that at -88, sorry, and then do him at 120, that's him just slightly off screen. So this is going to be yellow buggy spawn point. And then I'm going to have I need to create a yellow buggy script for that. So I'm going to add class yellow buggy. Actually, do I need one for each of these? I'm wondering if I do. Oh no, I do, because it needs to be separate ones. Maybe we can make this a resource. Let's do that as another refactor, but okay. Let's call this one yellow buggy spawn point. Oh no. Public, and then this is vehicle spawn point. Void awake. Actions dot add new spawn vehicle action, and then it's going to be this, and then the speed is going to be row 1 controller -32. So I want to see if this works with -32. So that is that one, and then I'm going to wait. This is every couple of seconds, so this is going to be a wait for that. Actions dot add new wait action, and then it's going to be 0.5 seconds, I think, for this. So I'm going to disable, actually I'm going to disable all the row controllers just now. So boom, everything's disabled. And then I'm going to take out row 2, row 2, row 3, row 3, row 5, row 5, row 1, row 1, and they're all going to be disabled. So everything's gone. And then the yellow one, I need to drag and drop. Oops, no, first thing I need to do is I need to add the yellow spawn point to that. And then I'm going to drag that to there, and that's it. So maybe I need to have 6 for these, because I'm going to have 6 cars. Probably 6 cars on at the screen at the same time. No, I did not like it. Spawn.transform.position. I didn't like spawn component. Right, okay, because I don't have a vehicle component. Let me do that for all of these just now. So if I go to prefab, and then I go to the yellow car, and then I'm going to add a vehicle to there, and then I'm going to do the white car's got that. The purple supercar doesn't have that, so I'm going to give it that. That tanker doesn't have a vehicle, so I'm going to do that. And then the bulldozer also needs vehicle, so I'm going to do that. So that's everything. That's all the prefabs done. So when we run this, we should hopefully get cars going that way. There we go. Okay, so that's too slow for these ones and too fast on the spawn. So vehicle spawn point, vehicle yellow. That's going to be probably 2 seconds actually. So it's going to be bang, 1,000, 2 1,000, bang, 1,000, 2 1,000. Yeah, maybe that. One. They come in groups of threes, don't they? I seem to think they come in groups of threes. So let me do that one there. So it spawns the 3 vehicles, and then this one maybe waits 3 seconds. So it's going to be spawn, wait, wait for it, and then start again on the 2s. And then that should hopefully space them out in groups of 3. We also need to move it just slightly off because the nose is just there. See, and now there's going to be a little bit of a gap. Oh no. Oh no. And we can kind of fine tune these things, but that's the kind of general idea. So that works quite nicely. And you can see that they're all turning themselves off and on when they hit the edge. So that's good. So I'm going to move this, nudge this spawn point just slightly, 122 to there. And then that means it's going to be slightly out of frame. It's not going to mess anything up. It just means that it's going to be a little bit better to... Okay. Okay, that's good. I'm glad that worked. So now I'm going to go through the rest of those and do that. I wanted to put this on camera because otherwise you'd be like, well, you cheated because it's, you know, the left way and the right way. Anyone can do that. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and do the scripts for the rest of these ones, but that will be off camera. So I'll see you real soon. So after all that, we now have this, which is better than it was. Now we should probably maybe like create something to run it for X generation so that when we come into the world it's already done something. So maybe we should do that. Should I make it this next video? I don't know. Yeah, let's make that in the next video. But what it means though is that you'll see all these clones down here. Those are all the objects that get created in the various pools. And now that we've done that, we don't have any of this controller malarkey across here. We just have the spawn points, and the spawn points are racer spawn point, yellow buggy, the bulldozer, the purple car, and then the tanker spawn point. And they've all got, you know, the maximum number of items you want to run. We have our spawn points here, all that kind of stuff. I don't know where I was going with that. But all that, sorry, that's what I was going to say. All the spawn points are here. There's no other cross multiplication thing going on there. It's just these spawn points. We don't have any controllers kicking around. So if we need to change something, we can just go to here. And the scripts that we wrote, these are the scripts here. So we have a couple of extra scripts down here. In fact, we can get rid of row control. That can go. We don't need that anymore. We still probably need kill script. We definitely need Frogger. We definitely need vehicle. Then inside here we have our spawn points, and then inside here we have our 2 actions. Now the nice thing is that we can actually, we could abstract this just a little bit further. Whoops. So we've got our, where is it here? We have our vehicle spawn point, and then we have this action here. We could actually abstract this and then take this functionality out and then reuse that elsewhere, which may be something that we could look at. And then that way, I mean, we could probably just rename this vehicle spawn point to something else. But anyway, that's good enough as it is just now, I think. But yeah, I think that's us for this video. Well, I hope that was satisfying. It was certainly satisfying for me. We've gone from like a whole bunch of these weird interconnected objects to just like a handful of objects. We're going to do the exact same thing for the river objects. I'll probably do that off camera, but you get the gist from this video was what we're going to do. And yeah, that's about it. But if you liked the video, thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. As always, leave a comment below if you get any suggestions, comments, concerns about the content. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Share on social media is another good way to sort of help the channel out if you want to do that. But yeah, that's it. That's all there is from this video. I do hope you enjoyed watching it and you got something out of it at least. Anyway, thanks again. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.